Hello everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic. Now in this video, we're going to talk about three tools that we generally put in a spherical form or geometry, okay? And these products usually use 3 tensor rings, okay? And you can formulate them to be in a spherical form, to collapse them down so they can be more in a bracelet form, but also they can be placed in a triquetra geometry as well. So we've got 3 of those products on the product store at Truly Holistic, and I wanted to talk about the differences of them. Because even though we can put them all in those 3 formations, they are facilitating something different in their own right based on the energetics, the cubic measure that it facilitates. So let's get into it. Now, the most recent inclusion, which is part of the Electroculture gardening kit, is the gateway facilitator, which is this one here. Okay, and this brings forth the ascension qubit, the energetics of the ascension qubit, which is to bring through the origin, the source of that plant's consciousness. But you can use this, even though it's part of the Electroculture gardening kit, to have an effect on bringing through the greatest potential, the origin, the source of the plant's consciousness. It can be used the same way for anything else that is bound to consciousness, which all physical matter is, including you, or including me, or including water, or beverages that you drink, or whatever that may be. So even though we have this as part of the Electroculture gardening kit, this can also be applied on anything else that originates and bounds from consciousness. So obviously you can use it in this way as a broadcaster because it's creating a 360-degree kind of sunshine effect when you have it in its spherical form. Now when you collapse it down into bracelet form, like so, very easy like that, it won't really sit on an adult wrist. It's more for the size of a young child's wrist. I would encourage if you were looking at wanting to get it as the bracelet. And the cool thing when you wear it in a bracelet format, it's part of your field, so it's having an effect on your field all the time while you have it within the field. Okay, so also when it's in a collapsed form like that, it's no longer creating that 360-degree sunshine effect. It's creating just a column, okay, an amplified, enhanced column because there's 3 rings. So you all of a sudden the effect of that is just through a columned effect now, right? So you can then place it on a water bottle, right? And that will create that column to restructure that water to connect it back to its origin or source of its consciousness, or whatever you're going to place within that column. Okay, so there's many ways you can use that. And as I say, you can also place it in a triquetra geometry, which we have like that. Right, so it creates like a cup. So you can put your crystals in that cup, right? And it's going to connect those crystals to its origin source of its consciousness, or whatever you place within that cup. Or again, you could also put it in that effect and place it over top like that, right? Or on top of whatever you want to connect into its authenticity, its consciousness. So many ways to use it, but that is the gateway facilitator that's part of the Electroculture gardening kit. So that's the first one. The next one, which is, this is a smaller version of it, the one we have on the website's double this size, is using which we call the generation calibrator. Now, generation is the word reality, right? So this particular one uses the energetics or the cubic measure of the infinite qubit. And why we use the infinite qubit for this one, especially with the word to calibrate your reality, because at the core, that's what you are. You're not here just to observe and participate in reality. You're a creator of reality. And every moment, where you place your attention, how you use your intention is going into creation. And this is why we emphasize this aspect of self-awareness, right? Which is just another way of saying consciousness, to be conscious. Because the more conscious we're in every moment, the more self-aware we are in the decision we're making, hence where our energy is going to go, and hence what we're going to create with that energy. Because if we lose our self-awareness, we lose sight of where our energy is going, and it might be actually going into the very thing that is obstructing and blocking your way, or the things you don't want as part of your life or your reality, including a health problem. So, why we use the infinite qubit measurement, we found that measurement enables an intention to be infinitely expanded or broadcast out, right? There's no boundary or limitation to its capacity to expand and to go out into creation. So what you can use with this is to voice your intention into it, to place intention notes within it, to place crystals within it. And what this will do when it's in a spherical form, will expand that out infinitely. There's no boundary or limitation to how far that can expand out using this particular tool, all right? Which we call a generation calibrator, which is a reality calibrator, right? You're putting an intent to then be projected into the infinite capacity of your reality, okay? Where the one before that, right, in its spherical form, which is part of the Electroculture gardening kit, does have a limited expansion, right? Still very expansive, but it won't be infinitely broadcasted out, while this one will, okay? And again, just like this one, it can be collapsed down into a bracelet in the size that we have on the website, which is double this size. I just don't have one around here for me to demonstrate to you, but this is a mini version of it. Is when it's collapsed down into a bracelet form, is big enough to go around an adult's wrist, okay? And again, same thing applies. Because it's part of your field, it will have an effect on your field all the time. And it's very heart-centered, energetic, the infinite qubit. Because, what is the doorway, the facilitation of our expansion, and that is the heart itself. So this same measurement that we're using for all the three rings that are the infinite qubit, is also one of the rings that we have as part of our manifestation trio that we recommend people buying that manifestation trio to reset their timeline. And that aspect of it is the heart and how important the heart is in you being a creator of your reality, and hence what we call a reality is your path, your journey, your timeline. So that is the generation calibrator. Now the third one is let me get this right? The fire infinity trinity. Okay, and why we call it that trinity, because it's obviously using three rings. And it's using the qubit measure fire infinity. Okay, now the fire infinity qubit measure takes us even further beyond the source of your consciousness, which we, when we say, for example, the ascension qubit, right, with the first one, that's bringing through the elements of water. Okay, just to keep that simple. The fire infinity is the fire element, which goes beyond source. So this is, when we get into the fire element, and now the new element that's been coming through recently is the ether, these are feeders. This feeds your consciousness. So picture your expansion as a consciousness, as a tree, right? And we've actually got an ascension map that demonstrates this. And the source of your energy is the roots of that tree. Okay, you are presently in a plane of existence, which you could say is the expression of that tree, which would say the foliage of that tree. Now, the fire element, this fire infinity, is the soil to that tree. Okay, it's feeding the roots of your existence, right? Your origin of your existence. So this is a very expansive energy, right, which would expand your auric field even more. And what the fire element really brings is this aspect of renewal. Okay, You know, very much like, you know, the phoenix rising from the flames, right, as a renewal. And also, this particular energetic taught me about, you know, things like such as things that we experience, like a fever. You know, the role of a fever, the purpose of a fever is to reset, right, to provide an area that was congesting back to its natural state, its original format of flow. Okay, and this is why you experience having a fever, right? So, which is that fire element, right? Because you burn up, right, when you're having a fever, right? All the symbology that's connected with that. So, when you're obviously this product you can also collapse into a bracelet, and again fits an adult wrist. And you can also put it in the Electroculture geometry as well. Now, one thing I will mention about the energetic that this brings, this particular tool, is it's more bound to a human or to you as a consciousness. I would not use this energetic on plants, water, food, or anything like that. This is specifically for you and you alone. Where the other two you can use on plants, you can use on water. So, because what we're really realizing is how the power of our purpose being here, right? As we're reality creators, right? And a big aspect of that is to live a way that is in the flow, but to be very expansive. Because what we generally see in the way that we were taught as the human, as a thinker, to follow a mind thought pathway is we're limiting everything about our reality. We're limiting our perspective, we're limiting our perception of reality, and because of that, we're limiting our opportunities to create more or better stuff that's in alignment with our innate state, which is a state of being. So that's going to limit your opportunities to create and the things that your heart desires, including opportunities to heal yourself. So the more we become expansive, you know, the more we place the odds in our favor, so to speak, in regards to achieving all that stuff. And the fire element is very, very, very expansive. As I say, goes even beyond the source of your consciousness. So this is a wonderful tool. And so I hope you've really enjoyed the explanation of these three products. And it's beautiful sun coming in today. And in regards to the three spherical tools that we do have at Truly Holistic. Now, if you have any questions about any of the products, please comment below. If you would like to buy any of the products, they are all on my product store at trulyholistic.net/products/ which is trulyholistic.net/products, PRODUCTS/. Now, if you've really enjoyed this video, please like the video and please subscribe to the channel if you really enjoyed this content and would like to receive more content like this. Also to push the notification bell, which will let you know when there is a new video out. Until next time, catch you later.